Do you remember when this popular NBA star got killed by his wife? At the time, it sounded unbelievable. A retired NBA player, millions in career earnings, a wife and kids, and then he vanishes. 4 days later, his body is found in a swampy field, shot multiple times. A failed 911 call, and a wife who seems strangely calm. What no one knew yet was that this wasn't a random killing. It was planned, and the person who wanted him dead was the person closest to him. This is the murder of Lorenzen Wright. Lorenzen Wright was a well-known NBA player. He spent 13 seasons in the league, playing for teams like the Clippers, Grizzlies, Hawks, and Cavaliers. Over the course of his career, he earned tens of millions of dollars. He was also a family man, or at least he tried to be. Lorenzen married Shara Wright, and together they had 6 children. From the outside, their life looked solid. Big homes, luxury cars, and the kind of financial security most people only dream about. But behind closed doors, the marriage was falling apart. Both Lorenzen and Shara believed the other was cheating. Arguments became constant. Trust disappeared. By 2010, after 13 years together, they decided to divorce. But here's where things start getting strange. Despite Lorenzen's NBA earnings, money was tight. Not average person tight, but tight for someone who had made millions. Shara believed Lorenzen was hiding money from her. She suspected secret accounts. She felt cheated, not just emotionally, but financially. And Shara wanted more than a divorce settlement. She wanted control. That's when life insurance entered the picture. Lorenzen had a $1 million life insurance policy, and Shara was the beneficiary. According to investigators, that policy became the real prize. But Shara wasn't going to get her hands dirty herself. She wanted distance, plausible deniability. So she turned to someone she thought she could control. A man named Billy Ray Turner. Billy was Shara's landscaper. He worked around her home. He was around often, and eventually their relationship turned sexual. Once Shara had Billy emotionally hooked, she brought in a third person, her cousin, Jamarcus Johnson. According to court testimony, Shara laid it out clearly. Lorenzen had to die. Billy and Jamarcus agreed to help. Their first plan was simple. Go to Lorenzen's condo in Atlanta and kill him there. Billy and Jamarcus made the drive, broke into the condo quietly, and found someone asleep on the couch. But when they got closer, they realized something was wrong. That wasn't Lorenzen. They panicked, left immediately, drove all the way back to Memphis. The plan failed, but Shara wasn't done. If Lorenzen wouldn't be found in Atlanta, she'd bring him to Memphis herself. Shara changed tactics. Instead of sending men to Lorenzen, she decided to lure Lorenzen to her. She began sending him sexually explicit messages, photos, promises. She made it seem like there was still a chance between them, and it worked. In July 2010, Lorenzen came to Memphis for a packed weekend. He had plans with his kids, a basketball game, a dance recital, his sister's baby shower. At his son's basketball game, Lorenzen received more explicit messages from Shara while he was sitting with friends. But Lorenzen didn't rush to her. He kept his plans. That rejection changed everything. Shara became angry, impatient. She called Lorenzen and demanded that he bring their son home immediately. Not wanting conflict, Lorenzen agreed. A friend drove him and his son to Shara's house. Later that night, after the kids were asleep, Shara told Lorenzen she needed to go pick up money from someone in a remote area and asked him to come with her. It sounded odd, but Lorenzen went anyway. They drove to a swampy field in Tennessee. When they stepped out of the car, everything happened fast. Billy Ray Turner emerged from the darkness with a gun. Lorenzen ran. As he ran, he called 911. The operator answered, but Lorenzen didn't have time to explain. Gunshots rang out. Lorenzen Wright was shot and killed. The 911 call was never properly followed up. No officers were dispatched, and Shara went home, acting as if nothing had happened. She immediately called her cousin Jamarcus and told him the plan was successful. She asked him to dispose of the weapon. Jamarcus drove to Mississippi and threw the gun into a lake. Meanwhile, Lorenzen never showed up to the baby shower. His family panicked. When they contacted Shara, her response was cold. He's probably with other women. 4 days later, Lorenzen's mother filed a missing persons report. Police eventually traced the forgotten 911 call, leading them to Lorenzen's body. After Lorenzen's death, Shara moved fast. She cashed in the $1 million life insurance policy, and she spent almost all of it. Within 10 months, nearly $970,000 was gone. New houses, luxury cars, an Escalade and a Lexus, new furniture, a swimming pool. To outsiders, it looked like she had gotten away with murder. For years, nothing happened until 2013. Jamarcus Johnson was arrested for an unrelated murder, the killing of his girlfriend. Facing life in prison, he made a deal. He told prosecutors everything. Shara's role, Billy's role, the gun, the planning. The FBI stepped in. They wiretapped Shara and Billy. The conversation sealed the case. In 2017, Billy Ray Turner was arrested. A week later, Shara Wright-Robinson was arrested too. At trial, prosecutors laid out the full conspiracy. The motive, the money, the manipulation. Shara was found guilty and sentenced to life in prison. Billy Ray Turner received 25 years. Justice came late, but it came. Lorenzen Wright survived 13 years in the NBA, but he couldn't survive betrayal at home. The person he trusted most turned his life into a transaction, and in the end, the money she killed for couldn't save her.